So the AI is allowing for another industrial revolution. The same way that you would have in the past perhaps hired someone to do something for you. An obvious example would be writing or music or art. Virtual things I'm talking about. You can now use an AI to do that. While if we take the idea of the past, the factory, because it is similar to a factory, in the past before a factory you needed to hire someone or know the skill yourself to do whatever specific manufacturing task there was. Now you don't need to do that if you own a factory and you know how to use it. The factory itself is a mechanical being which creates maybe socks or spoons or something like that. Instead of needing a blacksmith to create a spoon, or instead of needing a knitter to create a sock, a tailor, you can use a factory. Similarly with the AI. Now another thing that it's related to is, for example, communing with the gods, communing with spirits. In the past, if people didn't know the answer to things, for example, it would mentally usually come to them. Where did it come from? Well, who knows? They had the idea of gods and spirits and such. A prompt engineer, which is essentially a person whose job is to type in AI prompts, is communing essentially with mechanical gods, so to speak. That's what these AIs are essentially becoming, collective beings of the knowledge and experiences and creative work of humanity. Is that what the gods were to some extent? Maybe the idea of the collective unconscious, that which all humans could actively connect like a Wi-Fi network to this collective unconscious. It's possible that through this unconscious network, humans were able to access parts of themselves or access maybe beings that existed within this network, who knows, and to talk to them and to get answers on life, or to be able to do things in life. The AI is similar, where it is simply a human programmed being. It's more of the same way that the imagination is a natural visual kind of faculty of the human. Computers are more of a technological device that allows for example, drawing pictures and looking at pictures, which is essentially an externalized imagination. So, will AI create jobs or destroy jobs? And I think it'll do both. The factory, I believe, would have destroyed a lot more jobs than it made, sadly. AI will probably get rid of a lot more jobs than it creates. There's a lot of jobs, for example, office jobs, even some creative jobs that essentially are maybe somewhat bloated and unnecessary. And the work could be done simply by an AI. And if the work can be done by a machine, usually it will. Unless you're in a family business or a business that is very, very old school in the way that it runs. Of course, greater tools, greater factories gives people more ability for themselves as an individual. So you, as the individual, are going to have more power, which is a good thing. Of course, if you couldn't make money in the past economy, you probably can't make money in the present and the future economy. So some things stay the same. Meaning, you need to work on the fundamentals, of course. That's an important thing. No matter what kind of sci-fi or futuristic tech we have, things will always be the same if you have not changed. You might have experienced you won't be happy in another country if you're not happy within yourself. Of course, well, You can't take this too literally, because maybe being in another place actually does help you. But point being is that you always take yourself anywhere, and that includes technological developments. Of course, the way we use these things is a reflection of us. Now, the AI wave is over. People are less interested in it. In the same way that we had the NFTs and the metaverse wave. I wonder what will be the next one. These are all pieces of a puzzle which form the new technological revolution and stage. For example, radio technology, small computer or microcontroller like computers, kind of like the Commodore computers or the original Apple computers, where they were far more simpler. These formed to the previous one: telephone, radio, television, etc. These are lower level, less interactive, less complicated electronic technologies. Could you say these technologies represent the throat or the third eye? It depends. All of these new Web3 technologies, would they represent the third eye or the crown? I'd like to generalize and just say that they represent the third eye. And then we have things like earlier computers and earlier radios and such as the throat. Of course, what would that mean for very early electronic technologies? For example, handheld and hand-controlled motors that would create little sparks. If you look at old school electrical therapy techniques, because of course holding the ends of an electric motor while someone spins it to create a current will create a energy force within your body. It creates the chi force or the ki, and it's good for you. It stimulates you. It's nice. So we call those the kind of 17th, 18th century, when we were just experimenting with, voltaic piles and such, and small generators. Would that be more the earlier ages of the throat, or would it all be included with radio and with early computers? And maybe the early computers is a halfway bridge between the third eye. I think the crown chakra technology will be the last and final, which is more, it's a further expansion of what we have now. Imagine being able to 3D print any object out of any element using just electromagnetic energy, or even maybe a purer form of energy, who knows. Being able to talk to anyone, projecting like a ghost, a full dive VR ghost. Talk to anyone, experience any experience in a virtual way, like a dream. Being able to access any piece of information and have it instantly downloaded inside of your brain. Any skill, for example, being able to manipulate and alter your physical form, your genetics at will, instantly, your size, your skin color, etc. Essentially, infinity at the cost of energy. Of course, everything costs you something. You have to give to get. But of course, as technology gets further progressed, ideally things get cheaper, unless there's a bad company who has a monopoly, or a lot of companies see a bit of profit, which is ill-gained. But otherwise, usually things get cheaper and better. So anyway, that's all for this one. Of course, hope you enjoyed, and feel free to check the links in the description if you're interested in social and commercial things, and have a nice day.